Alex Fox's boots hit American soil after 8 months of shadows and sand. Syria. Horn of Africa. Places he can't name, doing things he can't talk about. Classified briefings wait. A hot shower waits. 20 hours of sleep wait. But none of that matters. His phone buzzes as he clears customs. A photo from Audrey, Debbie in her school uniform, gap-toothed smile, holding up a math test with a gold star. She's grown. Taller than he remembers. Her face has lost some of its baby roundness, traded for the sharper features that remind him of her mother. 7 years old now. When did that happen? He could go home. Surprise them both together. But he and Debbie have a tradition that goes back to her first day of kindergarten. Whenever Daddy comes home from deployment, he doesn't wait for the scheduled pickup. He shows up, unannounced, at school. The look on her face makes every missed birthday, every crackling satellite phone call, every night he spent watching the stars in hostile territory, worth it. Alex stops at a corner store. Buys a teddy bear wearing a miniature Navy uniform. A bouquet of mixed flowers because Debbie will give one to each of her classmates, generous the way only children can be. He's still in civilian clothes from the flight. Jeans, gray hoodie, looking like any other dad running afternoon errands. In the Uber, he texts Audrey, "I'm home. Going to surprise our girl first." The response is immediate. Heart emojis. She's going to lose her mind. He smiles, first genuine smile in months. The driver catches his eye in the rearview mirror. Good day? Best day, Alex says. The images from Syria try to surface. The compound, the firefight, the extraction under dawn sky. Faces of men he saved. Faces of men he couldn't. He pushes them down. Later. Tonight, when Debbie's asleep and Audrey holds him through the nightmares that always come after deployment. But not now. Now is for coming home. Before we continue, type the comment section where you are watching from. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next interesting stories. Great Heights Academy appears around the corner, its red brick warm in afternoon light. Parents cluster near the entrance, chatting while they wait. Normal. Safe. American. Everything he's fought to protect. Alex climbs out, shopping bag in hand, anticipation building in his chest like a physical thing. He can already hear her squeal. Already feel her arms around his neck. Almost there, baby girl. Daddy's almost there. 50 feet from the entrance. Alex can see parents clustered near the doors, chatting about soccer practice and weekend plans. Normal afternoon. His heart lifts. Somewhere inside those walls, Debbie sits in her classroom, probably doodling in her notebook, waiting for the bell. Tires screech. 2 patrol cars cut across the parking lot, blocking his path. Doors fly open. Officers McDowell Collins and Kevin Briggs emerge like they're responding to an active shooter. Hands hover near weapons. Hold it right there. Collins's voice cuts through the afternoon air. What are you doing near this school? The question lands like an accusation. Parents turn. Conversations stop mid-sentence. Alex's training kicks in before conscious thought. Assess. Hands visible. Voice calm. De-escalate. I'm here to pick up my daughter. She's a student here. Collins doesn't acknowledge the answer. We got a call about a suspicious individual loitering near school grounds. Keep your hands where I can see them. More parents turning now. A woman pulls her son closer, whispers something. The boy stares. Alex feels the weight of every gaze, every assumption forming in real time. He's felt this before. The suspicion that follows him in civilian clothes. The way store clerks watch him. The way people cross the street. Just another black man in a space where some people decide he doesn't belong. But this is different. This is his daughter's school. Briggs circles around, cutting off any retreat. His hand stays near his holster. What's in the bag? The shopping bag feels suddenly heavy. Alex keeps his voice level. Gifts for my daughter. I've been deployed overseas. I'm surprising her. Aha. Collins exchanges a look with Briggs. Something passes between them. A silent communication that Alex recognizes from years of working with team members who know each other's minds. They've already decided how this ends. Sir, I understand your concern about school safety. Alex's SEAL composure holds despite the humiliation burning in his chest. I'm active duty military. I'm happy to show you identification. You can verify everything with. I said keep your hands where I can see them. I'm not moving my hands. I'm just explaining. Step away from the building. A little girl asks her mother, "Why are those policemen yelling at that man?" The mother doesn't answer, just pulls her daughter closer. Protective. As if Alex is the threat. Colin steps forward. Briggs mirrors him from the other side. The shopping bag crinkles in Alex's grip. Inside, the teddy bear's plastic eyes stare up at nothing. "Officers," Alex tries once more. "My name is Lieutenant Alex Fox. My daughter Debbie is in second grade here. If you'll just..." Against the vehicle. Now. Alex knows the script. He's watched the videos. Heard the stories from cousins, friends, brothers who served alongside him. Stay calm. Hands visible. Comply with everything. Survive the encounter. His SEAL training covered interrogation by enemy combatants. Resistance to torture. Survival behind enemy lines. Nothing prepared him for this. "Officers, I understand your concern about school safety." He keeps his voice measured. Professional. "I'm active duty military. I'm happy to show you my identification." He reaches for his pocket. Slowly. Telegraphing every movement the way you would approaching a nervous animal. Collins's hand drops to his weapon. "Stop right there." Alex freezes. "I'm just getting my ID. My military ID is in my wallet." "Sure you are." Collins scoffs. "And I'm an astronaut." Step away from the building. Hands on the vehicle. The crowd of parents has grown. Phones out. Some recording. Others shielding their children's eyes. Alex feels their stares like physical weight as he complies, placing his palms on the warm metal of the patrol car. Briggs pats him down. Rough. Invasive. Finds his wallet and flips it open. The military ID card is right there. Department of Defense Common Access card. His photo. His rank. Security clearance embedded in the chip. Briggs shows it to Collins. For one moment, Alex allows himself hope. Collins glances at it. Tosses it onto the hood like trash. Anyone can get these made online. Fake IDs are everywhere. The words hit harder than a fist. Alex's voice stays steady even as anger burns beneath his skin. "That's my official military identification. You can verify it with Naval Special Warfare Command. The number is..." Turn around. Hands behind your back. Cold metal. The click of handcuffs. The sound he's heard 100 times in training and operations in hostile territory. Never on himself. The shopping bag slips from his grip. The teddy bear tumbles onto the pavement, landing face down in a puddle. Flowers scatter across concrete. Petals crushing under Briggs's boot as he positions Alex toward the patrol car. "Mommy, why are they arresting that man?" Alex looks up. Meets the mother's eyes. Watches her pull her daughter closer. Protective. Shielding her from the threat. From him. A man who spent years in the dark places of the world. Protecting children exactly like hers. Fighting threats they'll never know existed. Collins reads him his rights. Bored. Mechanical. Like he's done this 1,000 times before. "You're under arrest for trespassing on school grounds, suspicious behavior near a school, and resisting arrest." "I didn't resist anything." Alex's voice is quiet. Controlled. Collins smirks as Briggs opens the patrol car door. "That's for the court to decide." Stale coffee. Disinfectant. Fluorescent lights that hum like insects. Alex sits in the interrogation room, wrists still cuffed, watching through the window as Collins types at a computer. The officer's expression is satisfied. Almost pleased. An hour passes. Then Sergeant Davis enters. Gray hair, tired eyes, the look of a man who's seen too much and stopped being surprised by any of it. He reads Collins's report. His brow furrows. This says the suspect was aggressive and evasive, refused to properly identify himself, made threatening movements toward the school entrance. Alex leans forward. "Sergeant, that's not what happened. I was calm and compliant the entire time. I showed them my military ID. I'm a Navy SEAL. I was there to surprise my daughter after an 8-month deployment. You can verify everything with one phone call to Naval Special Warfare Command." Something flickers in Davis's expression. Doubt maybe. Sympathy. He steps into the hallway. The door doesn't close all the way. "Your report says he was aggressive." Collins's voice cuts through confident. "He was. These guys know how to look calm while they're sizing you up. I've been doing this 15 years, Sarge. I know what I saw. The military ID. Fake. Like I said in the report. Anyone can get those made. Davis returns. The apologetic look he gives Alex says everything. We've got to process you. You'll see a judge in the morning. The holding cell smells like bodies and despair. Alex sits on the concrete bench, running through the hours in his mind. School ended at 3:15. Debbie would have waited by her classroom door, watching, expecting Daddy to walk through any second. 3:30. 4 o'clock. Teacher calls Audrey. Is there a mix-up with pickup? Audrey arriving, confused, worried. Alex said he was coming. What did they tell Debbie? That Daddy couldn't make it? That something came up? Did she cry? Midnight. They allow him one phone call. Alex. Audrey's voice breaks immediately. Oh my God, what's happening? The school called and said you never arrived, and then some sergeant called saying you'd been arrested. He explains. Limited time. Too much to say. Her crying cuts through the static. This doesn't make sense. They know who you are, right? Did you tell them? I told them everything, Audrey. They didn't care. They wrote it all up as lies. The call ends too soon. Alex sits in the cell and does what SEAL training taught him. Control what you can control. Breathe. Stay calm. Trust the truth will surface. 3 in the morning. Footsteps in the corridor. Collins stops at the cell. Grins through the bars. Comfortable? Don't worry, you'll get your day in court. We'll see how far those fake IDs and made-up stories get you with a judge. He walks away whistling. The message lands clear. Collins isn't worried. He's done this before. The system will protect him, not Alex. The hours stretch. Alex controls his breathing. Counts. Stays centered the way he learned in BUD/S, in interrogation resistance training, in a dozen hostile situations where panic meant death. But his mind cycles through scenarios anyway. Security clearance. Annual reviews. A criminal conviction involving suspicious behavior near a school would end everything. Even an arrest on his record could complicate operations. Mission briefings where commanders question his judgment. Clearance reviews where investigators see arrested near elementary school and make assumptions. Career over. Worse than that, Debbie. 7 years old. How do children process abandonment? Does she think he forgot her? Chose not to come? He pictures Audrey at home. 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out how to explain to their daughter why Daddy is in jail. Dawn breaks. Fluorescent lights never changed, but something shifts in the precinct's energy. New arrest processed through. Drunk driver. Shoplifter. Kid caught with marijuana. They see Alex, ask what he's in for. When he tells them, one man laughs. Bitter. Man, that's rough. Collins and Briggs? Those two are notorious. My cousin got jammed up by them last year. Totally made up charges, but he couldn't afford a good lawyer. Took a plea deal just to get it over with. The words land like body shots. Institutional. Systemic. Collins and Briggs have done this before. To others. And gotten away with it. 7 in the morning. A public defender arrives. Young woman, exhausted eyes, coffee-stained blouse. Sarah Martinez introduces herself with an apologetic handshake. I have 15 minutes to review your case before we go before the judge. She flips through Collins's report. Her expression grows more concerned with each page. Okay, this isn't great. Officers Collins and Briggs have written a very detailed report. They say you were aggressive, refused to cooperate, provided fake identification, exhibited behavior consistent with someone casing the school for nefarious purposes. Judge Howell takes school safety very seriously. None of that is true. Alex keeps his voice firm. I'm active duty Navy SEALs. I can provide my commanding officer's contact information, my service record, everything. I was there to see my daughter after 8 months of deployment. Sarah makes notes. Her skepticism is visible. I'll present that to the judge, but I have to be honest. Police testimony carries significant weight, especially involving schools and children. We might want to consider a plea agreement to reduce. No. The word comes out calm. Absolute. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not pleading guilty to something I didn't do. Sarah sighs. Sets down her pen. Looks at him with the tired patience of someone who's had this conversation too many times. Then we're going to trial. And Mr. Fox, I need you to understand that this is going to be difficult. The courtroom is smaller than Alex expected. Fluorescent lights wash everything in harsh, unforgiving white. Orange jumpsuit, The uniform they issued during processing. A costume that strips away identity, dignity, rank. Second row of the gallery. Audrey sits in her church dress, face drawn with sleeplessness and worry. In her lap, the teddy bear from the pavement. Someone retrieved it, cleaned it. Their eyes meet. She's fighting tears. Alex wants to tell her it's going to be okay. He's not sure he believes it anymore. All rise. Judge Elizabeth Howell enters. Black woman, 50s, intelligent eyes. Reputation for being fair but firm. Alex allows himself a flicker of hope. Surely she'll see through the lies. The prosecutor stands. Harrison. Severe face, efficient movements. Your Honor, the state will show that on the afternoon of... He recites the charges with bureaucratic precision. Trespassing on school grounds. Disorderly conduct. Resisting arrest. Providing false information to law enforcement. Words that don't match reality but carry the weight of official record. Collins takes the stand. Alex watches the transformation. Yesterday's aggressive bully becomes today's concerned professional. Dedicated public servant protecting children. Officer Briggs and I received a call about a suspicious individual near Great Height Academy. Collins's voice is smooth, confident. When we arrived, we observed the defendant loitering approximately 50 feet from the main entrance, watching parents and children. When we approached to question him, he became immediately defensive and evasive. Harrison prompts. What do you mean by defensive and evasive? He refused to provide a straight answer about what he was doing there. Claimed he was there to pick up his daughter, but couldn't provide the daughter's name when asked. Alex's jaw tightens. What? He said Debbie's name immediately. He reached into his pocket without warning, creating a safety concern. When he finally produced identification, it was a military ID card that appeared counterfeit. Poor quality printing, wrong font on the text. We've seen a lot of fake IDs. This one had multiple indicators of forgery. Another lie. His ID is authentic. Issued by the Department of Defense. The defendant became increasingly agitated, making threatening movements toward the school building. For the safety of the children and parents present, we made the decision to detain him. Briggs takes the stand next. Corroborates everything. Their stories align perfectly. Rehearsed. Coordinated. Sarah cross-examines. She tries. But they're prepared. An answer for everything. An explanation for every discrepancy. Officer Collins, why didn't you verify Mr. Fox's identity with Naval Special Warfare Command? Collins shakes his head. Almost sad. Ma'am, we deal with people claiming to be military, CIA, FBI, you name it, every single week. If we spent time verifying every fake credential we encountered, we wouldn't have time to actually protect the community. The gallery murmurs. Some nod. Alex watches his truth being dismantled. Word by word. Lie by lie. Judge Howell turns to Alex. Mr. Fox, you have the right to testify on your own behalf. Do you wish to do so? Alex rises. Even in orange, his bearing is unmistakable. Straight spine. Squared shoulders. Eyes forward. Military. Your Honor, my name is Lieutenant Alex Fox. I am an active duty member of the United States Navy SEALs, currently assigned to SEAL Team 7. 8 months ago, I deployed on a classified operation sanctioned by the President of the United States. That operation took me to Syria, the Horn of Africa, and locations I'm not at liberty to disclose. His voice carries the measured calm of someone who has commanded men in combat. For 8 months, I missed my daughter's 7th birthday. I missed her first day of 2nd grade. I missed Christmas and New Year's and every ordinary Tuesday night when all I wanted was to help her with homework and read her a bedtime story. The courtroom goes silent. Harrison stops shuffling papers. Yesterday I finally came home. My first thought wasn't debriefing or rest. It was my daughter, Debbie. She's 7 years old, Your Honor. She's in 2nd grade at Great Height Academy. Her favorite color is purple. She wants to be a veterinarian when she grows up. And she has waited 8 months for her daddy to come home. Emotion roughens his voice slightly. I went to her school to surprise her. It's something we've done before. I show up unannounced because my deployments mean I miss too many scheduled moments. I was carrying a teddy bear and flowers. I was wearing civilian clothes because I hadn't had time to change. He looks directly at Collins. When Officers Collins and Briggs approached me, I was cooperative. I explained immediately why I was there. I offered to show my identification. I showed them my military ID card, which is authentic and issued by the Department of Defense with my fingerprints and biometric data embedded in it. His voice strengthens. At no point was I aggressive. At no point did I refuse to identify myself. At no point did I make threatening movements toward anyone. I complied with every instruction, and I was still arrested, handcuffed, and charged with crimes I didn't commit. He glances at Audrey. My daughter waited for me at school. When I didn't arrive, she was confused and scared. My wife, his voice breaks slightly. My wife, who has held our family together through every deployment, who has been both mother and father to our daughter while I've been in harm's way, had to tell Debbie that Daddy couldn't come because he was in jail. Judge Howell's expression softens. Sympathy evident. Collins leans forward, smirk barely suppressed. Your Honor, if I may, the defendant's story is very compelling, but we've heard it all before. Anyone can claim to be military. Anyone can claim their ID is real. These stories are, unfortunately, the oldest trick in the book. Alex opens his mouth. The words catch. What more can he say? He's told the truth. Explained everything. But truth isn't enough when the system believes badges over civilians. The courtroom doors swing open. Boom. Everyone turns. Admiral Patricia Scott enters in full dress uniform, and the courtroom transforms. White uniform. Immaculate. Gold buttons catching the fluorescent light. Ribbons across her chest. Decades of distinguished service compressed into colored fabric. Shoulder boards displaying rank that commands respect in any room. She's striking. Late 50s. Iron gray hair pulled back severe. Eyes that have commanded thousands of sailors. Her stride is purposeful. Authority radiates from her like heat. Judge Howell leans forward, surprised. Admiral, this is highly irregular. Your Honor, I apologize for the interruption, but this matter directly concerns one of my officers, and I believe the court needs to hear what I have to say. Admiral Scott's voice carries command weight. I am Admiral Patricia Scott, Commander of Naval Special Warfare Command. I oversee all SEAL teams, Special Warfare Combatant Craft crewmen, and related Special Operations units. Lieutenant Alex Fox serves under my command. She turns to face the courtroom, addressing everyone. Lieutenant Fox's service record is not just impeccable, it is exemplary. He has completed 7 combat deployments across 4 continents. He has earned the Bronze Star with Valor, the Purple Heart, and numerous commendations for actions I am not at liberty to discuss in open court. 8 months ago, at the direct request of the President of the United States, Lieutenant Fox deployed on a classified operation that successfully disrupted a terrorist network planning attacks against American interests. For his actions during that operation, he has been recommended for the Silver Star. Collins's smirk vanishes. Briggs goes pale. Admiral Scott's voice cuts like a blade. The military identification card that Officers Collins and Briggs dismissed as fake is a Department of Defense Common Access card with embedded biometric data, security clearances, and authentication markers that cannot be forged. Had these officers made even the most basic attempt to verify it, a single phone call, they would have learned that Lieutenant Fox is exactly who he claimed to be. Instead, they chose to arrest a decorated war hero in front of his daughter's school based on nothing more than their own prejudice. Harrison tries to interrupt. Your Honor, this is a moving speech, but it doesn't change the facts of. The facts, Admiral Scott cuts him off sharp, are about to become very clear. Your Honor, upon learning of Lieutenant Fox's arrest, I immediately contacted Great Height Academy and requested their security footage. They were more than willing to provide it. Judge Howell sits up straighter. You have footage of the incident? I do, Your Honor. And I believe it will conclusively demonstrate that Officers Collins and Briggs have committed perjury in your courtroom. Judge Howell's expression hardens. She looks at Collins and Briggs, both trying to maintain composure, both failing. Bailiff, set up the courtroom display. I want to see this footage immediately. The courtroom screen flickers to life. Great Height Academy. Wide angle. Yesterday's timestamp. High definition footage. Crystal clear. Alex appears in frame, walking toward the school entrance. Body language open. Relaxed. A man going to see his daughter. Shopping bag in hand. Movements unhurried. Come. Parents visible in background. Chatting. Waiting. Then the patrol cars. Screeching halt. Collins and Briggs emerge aggressively. Hands near weapons. The camera captures Alex stopping immediately. Hands raised slightly. Calming gesture. No audio, but his body language is clearly non-threatening. He appears to be speaking calmly. Explaining. Collins's aggressive posture is unmistakable. Leaning forward. Gesturing sharply. Alex reaches into his pocket slowly, telegraphing the movement. Produces his wallet. Shows his ID card to Briggs, who shows it to Collins. The crucial moment. Crystal clear. Collins takes the ID. Glances at it. Tosses it dismissively onto the hood. Alex doesn't react aggressively. Doesn't make threatening movements toward the school. Stands still. Hands visible. Speaking calmly. But Collins and Briggs force him against the car anyway. Cuff him roughly while parents stare. The shopping bag falls. The teddy bear tumbles out onto pavement. The entire sequence contradicts Collins's testimony in every detail. Judge Howell watches the footage twice. Her expression grows darker with each viewing. Screen goes dark. She turns to Collins. Barely controlled fury. Officer Collins, would you like to explain to this court why your testimony bears absolutely no resemblance to what actually occurred? Collins stammers. Professional composure crumbling. Your Honor, the perception in the moment, we had to make a split-second decision about safety. You had to make a split-second decision to arrest a man who was clearly complying with your instructions? To dismiss his authentic military identification as fake without even attempting to verify it? To then come into my courtroom and lie under oath about every single detail of the encounter? Judge Howell's voice rises with each question. She turns to Briggs. And you corroborated every lie. You sat on that stand and swore an oath to tell the truth, and you committed perjury. Briggs says nothing. Stares at his hands. Judge Howell looks at Admiral Scott. Admiral, I want to thank you for bringing this footage to the court's attention. Without it, a grave miscarriage of justice would have occurred in my courtroom. She turns back to Collins and Briggs. Voice hardening to steel. Bailiff, arrest officers Collins and Briggs. The charges are perjury, filing false police reports, and abuse of authority. I am also recommending a full investigation into their conduct and any previous cases where similar patterns may have occurred. Collins protests as the bailiff approaches. Your Honor, you can't. We were just doing our jobs. You were abusing your authority and weaponizing your badges to harass an innocent man. Click of handcuffs. The same sound Alex heard yesterday. Now delivered as justice. Judge Howell turns to Alex. Lieutenant Fox, all charges against you are dismissed with prejudice. On behalf of this court, I apologize for the injustice you've suffered. Thank you for your service to our country. Alex nods. Throat too tight to speak. Audrey rushes forward. They embrace. She cries into his shoulder. Outside the courthouse, Admiral Scott approaches. Lieutenant Fox, I want you to know that I'm proud of you. The way you maintained your composure, the restraint you showed, that represents the best of who we are. Thank you, Admiral. Go see your daughter, she says with a slight smile. That's an order. 20 minutes later. Great Height Academy. When Alex walks through the door, Debbie sees him and screams his name. She runs. Small legs pumping. Launches herself into his arms. Alex catches her. Lifts her. Holds her so tight he's afraid he might hurt her. But she squeezes back just as hard. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Prayer and celebration. Alex kneels. Audrey kneels beside him. Framing their daughter. Baby girl, I need to tell you something important. His voice is gentle. Sometimes people judge you before they know you. Sometimes they look at the outside and make up their minds without seeing what's really inside. That happened to Daddy yesterday. Is that why you didn't come? Debbie's lower lip trembles. Yes, sweetheart. But I want you to understand something. The truth always finds its way to the light. Always. It might take time, it might be hard, but truth is stronger than lies. Debbie nods solemnly. Are you okay now? I'm perfect now, Alex says, voice breaking slightly. Because I'm here with you. He pulls out the teddy bear, slightly dirty but intact. Debbie takes it, hugs it, then hugs Alex again. Audrey wraps her arms around both of them. Family reunited. Whole again. After a long moment, Alex whispers to Audrey, "We're home. We're finally home."